Hi guys, and welcome to my channel, The City of Starlight. If you have been following me, you know that I have been doing a Harry Potter theme on my YouTube channel and on my Instagram feed because I was going to London for a couple of days. And I promised you guys a video about my holiday where I went to see a couple of historic sites as well as the Harry Potter studio tour. So I went the 12th until the 14th of February, so just a couple of days ago, and I want to share my experiences with you guys. So first of all, I live in Belgium, so I have to take the train under the channel to get to London. So it takes about 2 hours to get there, and we have a 1 hour time difference. So we arrived around 8 o'clock in the morning local time in London, and we went straight to the Tower of London, where you can find the White Tower, where some of the royals in the Tudor period and before and after have lived there. It was a prison as well, and the crown jewels are there on exposition, so you can visit some of the exhibits there. So the crown jewels, you can go and see the armory there and where the coins were made during that time period. So it's one of my favorite places in the whole of London because of the history that was there, and it's just a place where I can really relive all the history there. So that's very, very important for me if you go to a city like this, that you do visit some of the historical sites. Then in the afternoon we went to the Harry Potter shop in King's Cross. There's a 9 3/4 shop there, so it's really nice if you're just visiting London. If you're still a Harry Potter fan, you can get all your stuff there. And after that we went to dinner for Valentine's Day, so me and my boyfriend went to the Buddha Bar. It's an Asian restaurant. It was very good. And then the next day we had to go to the Harry Potter studio tour. So if you've never been, it is very important that you book your tickets in advance because you have a time slot when you have to be there, and there are limited places for every time slot so that there aren't too many people in the studios at the same time. And you have to have the ticket with you if you want to take the bus to the tours. We first had to get to Euston Station with the underground, and then we had to take a train to Watford Junction. And there are little buses that go every 20 minutes, I think, and it's about 15 minutes to the tours themselves. So before you get on the bus, you have to have a valid ticket. With our tour, there was a mom with a child, and she didn't have a ticket. She thought that she could buy a ticket just at the registers on the tour, but all tickets were sold out for that day. So the lady who checked our tickets told them that they couldn't get on the bus. So it was really sad. If you promised your child or you are just looking forward to going on a tour and you don't have a ticket, you won't get on the bus. So just make sure you have your ticket either on your phone or on paper before you go to the tours. So once you get on the bus, you can watch a little video during the bus ride over. It's just about what you can expect on the tour themselves. Once you get there, you have to give your ticket and your ID card at the registers before you can get in, and there's also a luggage control. So once you get in the tour area, you can go and get your audio guide, and you can hang up your jacket if you want to, but be careful because if you go during winter time as we did, it could be cold outside, and it was, and they will tell you that you should keep your jacket with you because about halfway the tour there's a little back area where you have to go outside to see some of the exhibits, and they will tell you that you will need your jacket. So in the summer you can just hang your stuff in the cloakroom, and otherwise you should keep your jacket on because it could rain or the wind could be really cold. So keep that in mind that some of the exhibits are outside. So once you get fully inside, there's also a grand shop, what I'll show you later in the clips that I've got for you guys. I will be showing some clips about the interior of the shop and about the exhibits themselves, so if you don't want to be spoiled, just stop the video when I tell you so that you don't get spoiled for your trip over there. So there's a little shop, and there's also a little picnic area, so you can buy some drinks and some food over there. There's also a Starbucks if you like some coffee. You can have breakfast or lunch over there as well, so you don't have to bring your own food, but you can, that's no problem at all. So then once that your time slot is there, you have to go to the designated area over there. You have to give your ticket so that they can check your time slot, and then the tour will start. So first of all, there will be a little area where everyone gets in and gets some little information about the tour. And there are 3 areas where you cannot film or take any pictures. The first one is the area where you are in at the moment. The second area is the cinema room, so the area that you are going into to watch a little film about the making of Harry Potter. And third and last area where you cannot take any photos or film is the green rooms. So there are a few green rooms that you are going to see during the tour. So there are green screens everywhere, and in that area you cannot take any pictures because you can manipulate what's on the green screen and they don't want that. So there are a few of those interactive areas as well where you can queue in line, and for example you can sit on a broomstick, they will film you and they will make a little movie out of it. Okay, so next I will show you some clips of the tour, so if you don't want to be spoiled, just stop the video here. I hope you enjoyed, and if you have about a future trip you want to make, please ask them in the comments down below, and I will see you guys for a next video. If you want to see the clips, please enjoy. I filmed a few little clips during the tour, so for a few of the areas you're going into, and I will see you back at the end of the clips. So the first area you come in is the gift shop. It's connected to the area where you can eat something and drink something before you go into the tour. So here you can see a general overview of what you can expect there. So there's different kind of shops in the shop. So for example, the first area that I noticed was the area where you can buy the wands. It was really set up as a separate store, so it was decorated like you would walk into Ollivanders, and you could find all kind of wands there, and you could even try them out. So there was a little display over here that you can see where you can try out the wands, and then you could also find some replicas of the Horcruxes or necklaces that people wore in the movies. So these were rather expensive, but you also had other kind of gifts, so like t-shirts, bookmarks, keychains. They weren't that expensive, so if you want you can save up some money and go all out here in this big shop. There are also other shops around the tour which I will discuss later. And another separate area was the, I believe it's called Zonko sweet shop, so that you can find all kind of sweets like the chocolate frogs or every flavor beans. Then after seeing a quick movie, you come into the Great Hall where you can see all the table settings and some of the costumes from different houses. So for example, Hufflepuff, Gryffindor, you can see over here. Then you come into a big room where there's all kind of sets, and where you can see people who worked on the movies work their craft, like the wand shop. You can visit the dorms of our beloved Gryffindors, so Ron and Harry's room. And there are also some sets from, for example, the Triwizard tournaments. So this one is from the Yule Ball, one of my favorite sets in this area. Then of course we have Dumbledore's office. So you can see here it's a full replica of the office we all know, with all his little trinkets. So for example, here you can see all his memories turning in this cabinet. I really like this one. And also other classrooms, for example this one is the potions room, and you can even see the invisible persons stirring the potions, so that was really awesome to see, and especially for the little kids it was very magical. Some were very excited to see something they couldn't see stirring the pots, so that was really cute. Then you can also visit the burrow, and it's a little bit interactive because if you wave your hands around at specific points you can do the dishes, cut carrots, knit a sweater, so it was very cool to see. And then here a little scene from the very convenient suitcase of Professor R.J. Lupin, which I really liked. Then another part of the interactive area was that people could try out Quidditch. So here you can see someone summoning a broom to them. Then we step over to the darker side of the movies, for example Malfoy Manor, where you can see the Death Eaters sit at the table with Nagini. And next to it we had the entrance to the Forbidden Forest, where you could see all kind of creatures. So there was this big scene with Aragorn the spider, where you can meet him and all his family, and this little scene over here where you could see Buckbeak. So this was really cool because I found the animatronics in this part very cool to see. I think that the movements are very fluent, and I think for some children it looks really lifelike. Some of the scenes are actually scary because one of the children was crying when they saw the big spider. So for children this is really lifelike. I think it's really well done, and it's a new exhibit from last year. Then you come around to platform 9 3/4, so there's a different shop. So this is specifically for the train station. You also have one for the Forbidden Forest. Then we have the backlot, so here are some of the iconic buildings you can see. The bridge connecting Hogwarts to the forest, the little flying car and the flying motorcycle you can see, and of course Harry's old house where his family lived and where his aunt and uncle lived as well, and the night bus is also there. You can go into Privet Drive, but the other house and the night bus are closed off. The next section is for special effects, where you could see masks and figureheads. Then next was one of my favorites, Diagon Alley, where you could walk through. So none of the shops are open, you can only walk through the alley itself, but it was very nice to visit this iconic street from the movies and watch all the little shops and the trinkets you could buy there. So for example we had Ollivanders if you wanted to buy a wand, you had Flourish and Blots for your school books, and of course the wizarding shop from the Weasley brothers, which was very cool. And you even had the statue for the puking pastels that was actually puking the candy, so that was very nice to see that they included that little detail that you could see. Too bad you couldn't go into the shop though. So they watched every detail, so even the scissors that move in the movies, moving in the street itself, all the little trinkets are there. And then the last big part was the bigger sets, how they made the bigger sets. So for example, this is a cardboard replica of the full castle, and then in the last room you get to see the full model, so you can walk around Hogwarts entirely, so every little detail is there. And they even have this nighttime moment where you can see all the lights in the windows, so it's very magical. And the music there is the Harry Potter theme music, so this last space is very magical. If you're just walking around there you feel like coming home to Hogwarts, and it was very nice to end the tour this way. Okay, so that's it for the general tour. So after the big area where you can see the castle, you return to the first shop where you entered the studios. You can still do a little shopping, and then when you are ready to leave you can go back to the buses and take the bus back to Watford Junction, and there you can take your train back. We bought our tickets beforehand and we chose to have an audio guide, so if you are interested in a little more explanation about the exhibits or about the decorations you see, you can book a audio guide. It's kind of smartphone device where you can click and select which clip you want to watch or hear. We picked a souvenir guide as well. So in this guide a few things about the tours are written. So for example, how the wands are made, which characters were played by whom, even for example in the movies, so you can see it over here, so which animals were played, how they were trained and everything. So it's really nice. If you're a big fan you can afterwards read a bit more. I think it was just a few pounds extra for this guide, and I think it was really worth it. So I'm really happy that we bought this audio guide with the tickets. I do think that you save a little bit if you pay them together with your tickets instead of just buying them in the shops, because they are available in the shops, of course. Then after all that, we only had one day left in London to Westminster Abbey, which was again one of the historical sites of London where a lot of royalty and monarchs were buried, as well as some poets and some very important English people from different time periods, which was really nice to see. After that, we also went to the British Museum, so there are a lot of exhibits from different time periods. We saw the Egyptian time period, the Greek and Roman Empire, and then we also visited the Mexican area. So we didn't have a lot of time, so we really selected what we wanted to see, but it is a very good museum if you are interested in history. So every time period is there, and you can choose which one you want to see, and it's free except for these special exhibitions. So if you want to see one of those, you have to pay a little fee, but I don't think it's very much. So, but the general museum is open for public for free. Afterwards, we had something to eat and went back to the train station to go back on the train for 2 hours. So in my next video, I will be showing you everything I got during this trip, because I got some souvenirs from the tour, and I also bought some books in Waterstones. It's one of the bigger bookshops in London. If you are interested, it is close to Piccadilly Circus. So that will be in my next video at the end of the month, together with my monthly wrap-up. I will be showing you everything and going to detail what I bought. So I hope you liked this video and that you enjoyed this Harry Potter themed month. So next week will be the last Harry Potter themed video with the souvenirs I bought and with my books that I bought. I hope to see you soon on my channel for some other videos. Okay, see you guys. Bye.